In this part, we're going to learn a very important concept of what if analysis scenario, which is really used in finance and accounting. So we're going to start with a concept like you have data, for example, and you have the tax rate on this data. And then you are assuming a scenario. How about if I change the tax rate of those products that you're going to buy? So you can imagine that buying those products in Kentucky or from Tennessee, and the tax rate is different from those two states. So it's very good to know how much you're going to pay for those products based on the tax rate. So let us see how we can use it.
To open the Scenario Manager, on the Data tab in the Data Tools group, click the What If Analysis button and then click Scenario Manager.
So again, here when you start, tax rate of default of that table was 5%, and you sum up the total payment that's going to cost you for those elements, and which was about 5,119 and 80 cents. So let us assume now if you change the tax rate, how much as total this order gonna cost you.
To create a new scenario, click the Add button. In the Add Scenario dialog, type a name for the scenario in the Scenario name box. If necessary, enter the cell, range of cells, or range name of the cells you want to change in the Changing Cells box. Click OK to add the input details for the scenario. In the Scenario Values dialog, enter the new value for each input cell. When you are finished, click OK. To apply the scenario, in the Scenario Manager,
So here again, you are applying, it was 5%. Now you're gonna apply in that specific cell B1 a new scenario of the tax percent, for example, and you will see the results in B2.
click the scenario name once to select it, and then click the Show button. To close the Scenario Manager, click the Close button.
And that will reflect the total as you noticed. We're gonna do similar, but we're gonna do now a summary report from the creating the scenario.
To create a scenario report, open the Scenario Manager. On the Data tab, in the Data Tools group, click the What If Analysis button and click Scenario Manager. Click the Summary button. In the Scenario Summary dialog, select whether you want the summary report to appear as a new worksheet or a new pivot table. In the Result Cells box, Excel will automatically suggest the cell or cells that contain formulas affected by the changing input values for the scenarios. Click OK to see the Scenario Summary report. Notice that Excel automatically creates a new worksheet named Scenario Summary.
Very nice, summary for you to anticipate how much you're gonna pay in that case based on different tax rate. Okay, forecasting with forecast sheet.
To create a forecast sheet, select any cell in the data range. On the Data tab in the Forecast group, click the Forecast Sheet button.
You have to remember forecasting is related to date or time. You cannot do forecasting if there is no time associated with it.
In the Create Forecast Worksheet dialog, the line chart option is selected by default. If you want to use a column chart instead, click the Create a Column Chart button. The forecast is projected for one time period. If you want to extend the forecast, enter an end date in the Forecast End box. Click Create. Excel adds a new worksheet with the original and forecasted data and chart.
And also it shows you the forecast in a different color than the original data. That's neat. Click on options, and from the add-in we're gonna look at inside the manager of Excel add-in. You click go, and now we're gonna add the solver add-in that allow you to do a lot of calculations inside an analysis. So here is the solver now becomes part of your Excel interface. Okay, and we're going to start now with the new data set to apply some statistical concept with solver. So let us start the upcoming videos, because it's going to start with a new worksheet in a new video.